Hey folks, it's man once again. Welcome back to another review of a film that I've reviewed before, but since I'm doing the Van Damme movie marathon, I had to talk about Timecop. Now, I reviewed Sudden Death, and I like Sudden Death, but I do have problems with it. It has some good action scenes, some good stunt sequences. I mean, it has a fight with a mascot penguin. Powers Booth is great as a bad guy, but I had some problems with the pacing. That was sluggish at times. The obvious body doubles for Van Damme during the fights was annoying and aggravating. And some of the conveniences just bugged me. But I still like Sudden Death. But the first time Jean-Claude Van Damme and director Peter Hyams got together, Timecop, I will say I like much more. I like the story more. But I still like Sudden Death. I'm still entertained by it. But I like Timecop more. I just get much more enjoyment out of the idea behind it. Just a more entertaining film to me. Now, this was the film that I believe it's still the biggest hit he ever had, that he starred in at least. Then he made over 100 million worldwide. I believe it is still his biggest hit. And it still has nothing for features. This movie does. But this movie doesn't. Well, neither of these movies do. But not Timecop. Even though this is Universal, I guess it went back to Warner Brothers. So it shows how much Universal gave a fuck. Even though there was a TV series, there was 9 episodes or whatever, and a straight-to-video sequel with Jason Scott Lee, and now there's going to be a reboot, a remake of Timecop, but they don't give a fuck to give a good release of this. But yeah, figures. Still love Timecop. Peter Hyams, director I really enjoy. I enjoy Outland with Sean Connery. I enjoy... was it Stay Tuned, 2010, The Relic, Running Scared with Billy Crystal. There's a lot of Peter Hyams films I enjoy. I always put him in one of my, I would put him in my top 10 directors that I enjoy. Timecop, just love the idea. Yes, I know the main gist of the movie takes place in 2004. But if I was going to complain in a movie about that, I would have to complain about Escape from New York, because that takes place in 1997. So I let it go. Starts off in the beginning of the film where it's in the Civil War, and this guy shoots a bunch of Confederates for their gold, and this guy has a gun. Then you have this meeting where you have Ron Silver as the bad guy. Really miss Ron Silver. He was such a good bad guy. He was in Deadly Outbreak with Jeff Speakman. He was in The Arrival with Charlie Sheen. Such a great actor. Good villain. Just a really solid actor. I miss him. But premises to me says we need a police force. This thing, time travel, has been invented. We need a police force because people are already using it. The genie's out of the bottle. So we need the TEC, Time Enforcement Committee. And when it begins, when this meeting begins, it's 1994. And we see Van Damme with his woman, Mia Sara, who's in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I like to see where Van Damme fucks with a purse snatcher, where he just lifts his foot and says, "Read it. Wolverine? Between the lines. I should get the fuck out of here." He's that purse doesn't look good on you. And the guy gives the purse back. Just has some fun with Mia Sara, goes back, has some sex with Mia Sara. I'm jealous of Van Damme. I'm also jealous of his mullet. I love his mullet, like he had in Hard Target. I think that's a good look for Van Damme. Some bad guys come in, they shoot the shit. They shoot him, the house blows up. Van Damme had a bulletproof vest on, but his wife is dead. And he doesn't know what really happened, and it's 10 years later. And then we're cut to 1929, and you think, of course, it's normal, 1929, but you have a guy listening to headphones and looking at the stocks. And then Van Damme arrives. And I love the way the time aspect works, where, first of all, I love the concept, because you do go through different time periods. I mean, at the very beginning, we were at the Civil War, then 1994, then 1929, and then we'll jump to the future. Well, when this movie was released in 1994, it was the future, 2004. But it's 2015, we don't have time travel. Or we do and no one noticed. But you have different time periods, and like I was saying, I also like the fact that when someone goes through it, it makes this bubble. This, I don't know how to describe it, just this bubble that just comes out of nowhere and person arrives from it. I just like that neat visual, simple but effective. The sort of bubble type of effect, that ripple effect. They need a really nice fight scene at the beginning. If there are buddy doubles, it's not as noticeable in this as it was in Sudden Death. It was done much better here. You have this guy's like, oh, I went 10 rounds with Bubba Sullivan. And Van Damme kisses shove him. I saw Mike Tyson beat blah 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 on TV. I forget the actual guy's name, but well, I saw Mike Tyson on TV. Nice fight scene, kicks that guy's ass. Gets grabbed, goes on the wall, flips back, breaks the fucking stick that guy has. After giving sort of a leg takedown, leg sweep. Breaks the stick that guy has in two, takes it, beats the shit out of him, whips him in the nuts for good measure. Very entertaining fight scene. Even did a moment of the splits, which was cool. Just well done choreography. He gets shot at. Then the guy says, I can't go back. Senator McComb, Ronso will go back and erase my family. Not just me, but my whole family. He tries to commit suicide. Van Damme gets him. And I like that concept that the guy tries to commit suicide because his... Not because just for him, but for his family's safety. I like the fact that Van Damme jumps with them. They're falling down. They could go through the ripple effect, the ripple time thing, even while falling to their deaths. I kind of like that, the way it's shot. I like the effect. And the guy won't budge when they get back, and so they sentence him to death, and he goes right back to where he was just a few seconds before, so no one notices the Van Damme's character is not there. And so when the guy lands, people assume it's a suicide. So interesting way of doing an execution as well. So I like the ideas behind the film. I like the story that Van Damme's woman was murdered and he can't go back to fix it. He even says, if I can't go back to save her, I'm not letting this scumbag go back for money. And I can relate to that. And that's, well, I can't relate to it, but it's understandable, the frustration. I just really like Van Damme in the film. I liked his character. Let's see. I'm trying to see what was next. I don't want to miss anything. Oh, Bruce McGill, who's been in a few films. I remember he was in The Last Boy Scout as somewhat of a buddy to Bruce Willis, but he's the one that's fucking Bruce Willis's wife. And Bruce Willis says, oh yeah, I know it was an accident. You just slipped and popped your dick in my wife. Oops, just wasn't my day. I love The Last Boy Scout. It's made a big long review that's still on my channel. One of my favorite Bruce Willis movies. But Bruce McGill is sort of the captain here as Matuzak. And I like that he's the captain, but he's also Van Damme's friend. He's not the shouting captain of, how dare you do this procedure. He's sort of a cool guy. Saying, because Van Damme's talking about Ron Silver and how some people are in his pocket, and Bruce McGill goes, well, he doesn't have me. Hey, he doesn't have me. Well, fuck you too. And then later on, you're supposed to say, I know that. And Van Damme goes, I know that. So I like some of that back and forth they shared between the two. I thought they did a good job with that. Some fun stuff. Van Damme goes home, he watches some home movies, and that's where he did this really nice little knife fight with this couple people break into his home. You have this one guy, James Liu. Nice knife fight. Van Damme gets a knife and going a little back and forth, some nice kicks. Nice little back and forth. Good choreography. Understand the location where everything's at. It's entertaining. Pretty decent musical score. And then the other guy, after he kissed James Liu's ass, the other guy has a taser. Water's been dropped, filling over the floor. Great scene. Van Damme does his classic splits onto the cabinets. Fries the guy's ass. The guy fries himself because he misses. Because Van Damme does the splits. Just a great scene. I mean, Timecop split scene, you know what scene I'm talking about. If not, just look it up on YouTube. Just a fun scene. Thought that was a nice idea. And I like the line of dialogue when he comes in and this other woman, I forget the actress's name, I believe her first name is Gloria, who, sort of with internal affairs, sort of not. I like Van Damme goes, he messed up my apartment. You can kill him. And she becomes his partner, and they go on this launch because, again, they're cops. Something's been fucked with time-wise back in 1994. And she's nervous because it's her first actual launch. And she says, well, what do you think about? And Van Damme goes, not swallowing my tongue. And then throughout, they keep mentioning these twins, and she's like, who are the twins? Where are they? And Van Damme goes, you see those two red spots? And she looks forward, and it's the launch pad they're going towards, and you see these two bloody red spots on there. So I thought that was nice. They go back in time. I like the way it's done. The launch, this pod that just launches through, and they go through this ripple bubble. I just like the way it's done. You can't really see, but that's sort of the thing they go towards. Kind of, sort of. But I like that. I really do. I like the design. I like the way it was handled. I thought it was cool to look at. What can I say? And Ron Silver has gone back in time because he wants to be president, so he needs some money and fucks with him stuff. Sees his younger self talking with someone, hits someone else, and says, never interrupt me when I'm talking to myself. I thought Ron Silver was just a great bad guy. Just a very, I don't know if smarmy's the word, but he's just cool. Just a cool bad guy. Well, anyway, so Nelly finds out that his partner's actually paid off with the bad guy. And again, nice fun action sequence. There's this battle, Van Damme does his leg sweep, beats the shit out of this guy, knocks him the fuck out with his big ass wrench. Has a shootout with these barrels, using these barrels as cover. Gets something so that he freezes this guy's arm and then kicks it and kicks the arm off. And yeah, the effects are not 100% believable, but it's a cool idea. Again, freezing a guy's arm, Van Damme uses his kick to just bust not only the arm, but part of his side as well, break it off. And then the guy falls off the catwalk. I thought that's a cool image. It's a cool scene. And then when he talks to Ron Silver, he says, I guess I should have said freeze. And Ron Silver's like, I think he got the idea. I think the line he says is, have a nice day. And then the woman starts fighting with him, and Van Damme goes, I don't want to fight a woman. Then don't. Van Damme gets his butt kicked a little bit, then says, change my mind, and gives her just a big smack in the face. But then one thing leads to another, Ron Silver shoots her, so that since she's already done her end of the bargain, or at least tried and failed. Ron Silver goes back in time, and then Van Damme goes back. When Van Damme goes back to the future, things have changed. Bruce Badil, as his captor, barely knows him, and the place is going to be torn apart. And Van Damme goes, oh, I need to go back and fix this. I like the bit that Van Damme beats these two guys, and Bruce Badil's with him. Bruce Badil sees this when Van Damme beats these two guards' his ass and goes, was I your only friend? But Bruce Badil, deep down, knows he didn't trust him for some reason. Gets the controls, but he gets shot and killed. And I like Van Damme's like, oh shit, like seeing his friend get killed. But he goes back in time, and I like the idea that when he goes back this time, he's in the middle of the road, and a truck's coming, and he has to duck down at the last second. I thought that was a nice, cool way they did that. If there were features, it'd be nice to see how they did that. But there's no features, no documentary, no nothing. Which is stupid. That's how it happens. He gets to the hospital, he sees his partner who was shot, looking for blood and trying to get evidence. Also finds his woman's blood. Mia Sara finds out she was pregnant back in 1994. Goes bad, his partner gets killed, he gets chased, jumps through a window. It gets back to that mall that we saw at the beginning, and I like this bit of business. This is kind of shit that is done right here. They don't do stupid in Terminator Genesis. Sort of Back to the Future Part 2 stuff, but I thought they did it well here. They did it well here. And she's freaked out. Hey, how come you look different? And he's trying to explain to her, and then shows her the younger Van Damme. Tells her a bit, says, you know, go back to the house, you'll go back with him. And a satisfying finale. You have the older Van Damme with the mullet, grabs a gun. Guy goes, who the fuck are you? Friend of the family, beats the shit out of him. The younger Van Damme fights and gets with Mia Sara onto the rooftop, and they're battling it out. You know, doing some hang time, hanging for dear life. Even Mia Sara grabs a gun and shoots one. The older Van Damme, I like this bit. He hangs a coat as a diversion, and I like the fact it's in the rain. I like that idea. Not idea, I like the look of it. There's a little bit of an atmosphere to the scene. And when the guy realizes he fucked up, Van Damme comes with a shotgun, turns it around, and the guy goes, what do you go? Oh shit! Or, did he go? What did he go? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think he does go. I was going to say, did he cuss any other way? But no, he says, he turns and goes, oh shit! Boom! Yeah, that's gotta hurt. I like that idea. Just turn that shotgun on the stupid sumbitch and just, oh shit! See, I wish I could use clips. I could just use the clip and show it instead of explaining it. But that's one of the scenes I really enjoy. But Universal will be pissed off. Or Warner Bros. Or whoever the fuck owns this now. And then one thing leads to another. Van Damme's kicking the shit out of some guys. Ron Silver's there. One guy's beating the shit out of the younger Van Damme and goes, why don't you sleep on him? The older Van Damme comes up behind him and goes, I did that. Beats the shit out of the guy, beats him with the butt of his gun, boom, 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 right in the face. Takes him and snaps this fucker's neck, breaks his neck. Satisfying. Because that was the guy who shot him at the beginning of the film in the 1994, when the movie began. That's the guy who shot him. And now he gets paid by just snap the fucker's neck after beating the shit out of him with the butt of a gun. I like that. That was satisfying. Gets with Ron Silver, who has Mia Sara. Says something about, you know, I think he said something about that, you know, all that kicking. He should be doing that on Broadway. And if Van Damme thought ahead, he brought the young Ron Silver there. And it says, I'm still kicking. I must be on Broadway. Tits. And apparently, with the rules of this film, matter can't be in the same place. So when younger and older Ron Silver get together, they turn into this weird, for some reason remind me of Altered States, like this weird muck ooze. Kind of interesting effect that was done. And then it disappears. They disappear. By this time, Mia Sara's been shot. Van Damme gets out of there. Practical house explosion that we saw at the beginning of the film. Nice effect. Van Damme goes back. He's happy that things are back. Bruce McGill is alive. You're walking around. Yeah, I've been doing this since I was 2. Goes back home and realizes, oh my god, this isn't my normal home. This is the house that was blown up, rebuilt. And here's my kid, and here's Mia Sara. And just a happy ending to Van Damme's character. So, pretty cool journey for the character. I mean, I did another review, and probably was a longer review of this, but it's kind of hard because I reviewed this film once on my channel. But I love Timecop. I love the idea behind it. I wish Van Damme would have done a sequel, a bigger budget sequel. I think that would have been nice. In fact, I would have preferred that than Sudden Death. I like Sudden Death, but I would have preferred a Timecop 2 with those two guys. With a, you know, different story, different plot, maybe a bigger budget. That would have been cool. But that's just me. But I like Sudden Death, but I would have preferred Timecop 2 if I had to choose. I like the idea. I like Van Damme being this cool sci-fi film. I like the ideas. Yeah, if you look into the time travel logic, but it just didn't bug me as much as, say, Interstellar did. Like this, I could deal with like I could deal with Back to the Future. Even if 100% doesn't make sense, I could BS my way around it. I just couldn't do that with the ending of Interstellar. But also, it's just a fun action movie, some good fight scenes, and good little bits of shootouts. Ron Silver's a great bad guy. I like some of the supporting cast like Bruce McGill, Mia Sara, very nice to look at. I always forget that Sam Raimi was one of the producers because he helped produce Hard Target with Universal, and then he helped produce this with Universal. I just because Sam Raimi had directed Darkman and Army of Darkness with Universal, so he got to produce some films, some Van Damme films. But I enjoy this film. This is one of my favorites. Well, I know this would be in my top 10, maybe in my top 5 Van Damme films. I don't know. That'd be hard. I'd have to think about that, but Timecop's a great one. I think it's one of Van Damme's best. Definitely one of his most mainstream movies. But yeah, I love Timecop to death. I think it's a very entertaining movie. So either way, thanks for watching. Take care, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.